Hi, this is Susan Clark with Carmel Realty Company. Welcome to episode number 25 of Meet Our Local Business Owners and Experts. I'm really excited today to be interviewing Terrence Farrell. He is a renowned classical guitarist, and he has lived all over the world and traveled all over the world and all over the country, sharing his music with people. Terrence, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks, Susan.
This is going to be fun. I haven't interviewed a guitarist or an artist, a musician, so this will be fun. Terrence, how did you get started with your career?
Well, actually, the career is kind of interesting. I started to do something else, and then I was still finishing up university and getting my degree in something else, and I decided that isn't the way that was gonna make me happy. And what was making I was working up at a small place up in the mountains in Washington State, running a swimming pool.
Oh, okay.
And the elder gentleman that rented me a place up there says, well, what you want to do is find out what you love doing more than anything else in the world, and then convince them to pay you to do it. And that was playing the guitar. It was my great solace at the time, and I wanted to see the world and play the guitar.
Yeah. And you did.
And I did. I already knew how to play the guitar, but I needed to play it better.
Well, that's good advice for everyone, no matter what their passion is, to do what you love and get paid for it.
That's it. This is Joseph Campbell
ideal.
long before the book was written.
Well, that's great. And how would you describe the music you play?
Well, I'm a classical guitarist, and what does that mean? I play a nylon-strung guitar, and we play it with our fingers, and that way we can do a lot more with the textures of the sound.
I see.
With it, and it's a self-accompanying instrument, so that, like a piano, we have a bass in what we're playing, and there's the middle part in melodies and bringing them out.
It sounds very technical.
It is very technical. Let's say if you've got a rock band, you've got two guitarists. One plays lead, he plays the melodies, and then somebody else plays chords, somebody else plays the bass. So as a classical musician, you play...
You're playing all of it.
You play all of it together.
That does sound quite complicated.
It's a little bit of rubbing your head and patting your tummy, for sure.
Well, that's great. And we're here in Carmel, California, and I understand you've lived here for some time.
Yes, and actually I moved here to finish my studies with a LA refugee. He's retired and moved to Big Sur. And I got a phone number from him when I was looking around for a better instructor to study under, and he said he took on a few students here, and he would teach them at his mother-in-law's place here in Carmel. So that was my introduction, and I got here looking around. I was born in Salzburg, Austria. And
Musical capital of the world.
And I got here, and I'm looking around, and I say, this is a really unique, wonderful, wonderful place.
A lot of Europeans are very attracted to Carmel because it has that European flavor.
Yes, yes, indeed.
And so at what age did you come to Carmel?
I was about 23 at the time, and then I studied with him for the next 10 years, both as mastering the instrument and composition as well. And then it just fell in love and got married, and this area has always been our base, and then I've gone out to touring and traveling all around the world.
And was your wife traveling with you?
Only occasionally. I was once playing, and another musician says, well, it's not the money you make, it's the nut you take home. Yes. And if it's both of us traveling, it's pretty thin. It's pretty thin, so she stayed here on a lot of things. But for a while I did play on cruise ships as a classical musician, and I had little performances on the ship, and
And then she got to come along.
And then she got to come along.
I understand that you still play locally. Could you tell us a little bit about that and where people could come and hear you play?
Yes. Actually, during COVID, for a musician was, and is many businesses, that it's the proverbial car going off the cliff. I
Yes.
mean, it went to zero as far as any sort of performing. And at the time it was like, oh, we can do this. You know, it's okay. We're okay financially. We can do this. So then I said, well, when this is over with, I promised my wife I would not work evenings anymore. So she's always waited for me to get home from tour, or when I'm home, get home from evening jobs. So I don't work in the evening anymore.
I see.
And so my agent called up and says, I think I've got the job for you, and I'm playing Sunday morning breakfasts at the Clement Intercontinental on Cannery Row from 9 in the morning till noon. And I can't believe it that I'm actually done playing by noon. I mean, that's, other than a church job, those are
pretty good hours. That's right.
Never happens.
And I understand that you even played for one of our presidents.
I did.
One of our U.S. presidents.
Right?
Must have been quite a thrill.
Quite a thrill and quite interesting with the Secret Service and the rest of it. And that was actually quite early on, and it was for the Fords. And I had a flute partner and I were working, and we played for them once out at Pebble Beach, at the lodge at Pebble Beach, and then another time at the Cypress Inn. Or it's not the Cypress Inn, the Cypress Golf
Club
out there.
Yes. What else should our listeners know about you that you'd like to share?
Oh, I also am a photographer. And speaking of the Cypress Inn, many of my images are up there in the hallway and in the
really?
rooms.
Oh, that's great.
Because they were going to do
I love photography. I'm a big photography admirer.
Oh, and me too. And I mean, this was the mecca for it with
all our beautiful
photographers that have been here too. And my father-in-law was. Managed Ansel Adams' shop up in Yosemite in the 40s.
Oh, I see.
And there's a connection there, and he studied with the Edward Weston, and
yes.
I knew Brett Weston and lots of other photographers, and had a big interest in that, and still do. So
hanging around with some good ones.
Oh wow! At the time, you didn't know it, because you're just kind of growing up, and these are the people that are. This is the neighborhood that is Carmel.
Terrence, I understand you have a website, so if people want to contact you, first of all, why don't you tell us what your website is?
Very original. It's terrencefarrell.com, and that's a lot of E's. TERRENCEFARRELL.
And we'll show that on the video.
Yeah. And I have a dozen CDs and a DVD there that you can hear of the different sort of things that I do, and I can be reached at tfarrell@terrencefarrell.com.
And your phone number, if they wanted to contact you?
831-521-3033.
Wonderful. And I'm sure that people will love to have that information and find out more about you.
Thank you.
Well, Terrence, thank you so much for chatting with me today. I so enjoyed meeting you and hearing about your career. And I hope that everyone will go stop in at the Clement it's called, right? Accent on the first.
I'm not sure.
Okay, I think it's the Clement.
It's
at
his
Cannery
first name.
Row.
At Cannery Row. Yes, please come in.
On Sunday
That's
for
good.
breakfast, and you're going to get to hear Terrence. That'll be a thrill. My husband and I will be there.
Wonderful.
We're going to come and listen to you play. To my listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. And if you have any real estate needs, please give me a call. I'd love to help you and hear all about your goals and your dreams and your desires. Bye for now.
Bye.